Oh, hello everybody. Next one we're going to do is a lesson is simplifying radicals by factoring. And to do that, we must know some basic perfect squares. So make sure to review these. You must remember those, which number is a perfect square. Because the number going to be given, and then we're going to find two factors of this number with the one possible biggest square possible. Oh, also remember the same chapter they talk about rational and irrational numbers. So now remember the square root of x is rational if x is a perfect square, and the square root of x is irrational if the x is not a perfect square. What does not a perfect square mean? 6 is not a perfect square because 3 times 2 is a 6. But to be perfect square, you must have identical factors. Then here's the example. Quickly simplify the square root of 200. So we know that 200 is not here. This means 200 is not a perfect square. What this means? We're going to find two factors of 200 with the biggest square, perfect square possible. So here 200 is same as what? The biggest one in this case, in here is 100 times 2. So why are we using 100? Because 100 is the biggest perfect square possible inside 200. So then what is square root of 100 is 10. 10 must be outside, or then 2 must be inside. Is it still irrational? How you read this one? 10 root 2. That's it. So make sure review your multiplication and the perfect squares. Find the biggest perfect square possible. So let me show you a couple of more. Also remember the 25 is the really good perfect square. So here is the example 2, for example. So here look. So somebody asks you simplify this. 150. So now think about it. We can factor 150 so many different ways. But remember, $50 is how many quarters? So think about a quarter. Because quarter is right here, 25. So now 25 times 6, it gives us 6 quarters. That's it. So 25 is the best perfect square we have. So now what is the square root of 25 is 5. So the answer is 5 root 6, and you're done. So make sure use one of these perfect squares, the biggest one, not the smallest one. Or for example, sometime people say simplify the square root of 32. Now you can also do the factor trees as well. So now look, the best answer, people say 8 times 4. Well, remember, we're not done yet. We need to find the biggest one. So here is a 2 times 4. So that's it. So we can use this one too. Do not find the prime factors, just find the perfect squares. How many perfect squares we have here too? So 4 and 4. So if you multiply 4 and 4, so the biggest one is a 16. So 16 times 2. So that is the best combination. 16 times 2. So now what square root of 16 is the 4. So it becomes 4 root 2. Done. So make sure if you want to use small numbers, so you have to think again. So 8 times 4 is 32. Well, then say, oh, 8 is again 2 times 4. So there's a 2 perfect square. And then you can use the 16. Look, 16 times 2 is 32. Let me show you a couple of more examples. And also, this is the factor tree is really good approach to use. Or make sure we're not finding all the prime factors. We are finding the perfect square. So, for example, here is somebody asks you to simplify square root of 98. Well, now 98. Always try to divide by 2. Look. So what is 49 times 2? So, oh, we got 49 is perfect square. So that is the best combination. So do not go 7 times 7 because we don't want the biggest one. So here is 49 times 2 is 98. Then what is square root of 49 is 7. So the answer is 7 root 2. Done. So you can also use this. Look here. So one more example, somebody asks you, oh, simplify square root of 800. But 800 is not perfect square. Well then, what is the big, look, 400 here is perfect square. So what is the best combination? 400 times 2, that's the best combination. So then what is square root of 400 is 20, because 20 times 20 is 400. So the answer is 20 root 2. That's it. So your homework has, I think, quick like 16 problems, just one step, but you must use the best combination possible. Then tomorrow lesson we can bring some variables here. So I'll show you how we simplify the exponents with the odd power. So today homework is only just the numbers. Make sure it's a pretty small number I gave you, so make sure you use one of these. So you have to review this part first. Thank you. We'll see you soon.